What up, all my fight fans? So we got ourselves a new rising possible number one contender in the middleweight division. I am talking about RDR. I'm talking about the Ritter. I'm talking about his win over Robert Whittaker this past Saturday. It was a very, very good fight, guys. It was a lot of back and forth action. It was a lot of takedowns. Or excuse me, it was a lot of knockdowns, I'll just say. You know, Robert Whittaker looked really, really good himself. He was able to dictate the octagon. He was able to dictate the pace. He was able to hang in there with the Ritter. But the Ritter being as skilled, crafty as he is, with those knees, with his elbows, he was able to do whatever you need to do to Robert Whittaker to get a win. But it was no one was dominating anybody. Everybody had their moments. You know, in the second round where Ritter almost had Robert Whittaker stopped. You know, he was busting him up, bleeding him up, and then you had it in the third or fourth round where Robert Whittaker swung over with the overhand right or overhand left, I'm pretty sure it was the right, that knocked down the Ritter and got him, and everyone thought that fight was going to be over, like he was going to stop him, but the Ritter hung tough and was able to weather the storm. So he looked really, really good. Robert Whittaker looked really, really good, and at the end of the day, the Ritter got the split decision. It was split decision. It was no unanimous because it was a really, really close fight. Really close fight. Anybody could have won that fight, honestly. Anybody could have won. But I do feel like Robert Whittaker, I would have leaned a little more just due to the fact that he did a little bit more, in my personal opinion. But again, not hating the fact that they gave the fight to the Ritter. Not hating at all. So you got to ask, what is next? Well, the division's really popping right now. The division, you got Khamzat Chimaev facing Dricus du Plessis, the DDP, for his middleweight championship of the belt in August. That's going to be a fight. I am so much looking forward to that fight. 100%. I believe that's going to be the most anticipated fight this year, my personal opinion. And then you got Imavov taking on, I think it's Kirill, or I'm sorry if I'm saying that name wrong, but he's fighting him in September. You know, that's a guy that's a rising star. And we know Imavov coming off a great victory over Israel Adesanya back in February, knocking him out, as a matter of fact. So yeah, there's that's a possible number one contendership fight right there. Then you got Izzy still looking around for a possible opponent because he wants to return himself. So there's some names popping off right now. There's some names. The Ritter, I believe, could be the number one contender only due to the fact that outside of anybody else, Robert Whittaker was right there. Robert Whittaker was probably one fight away from getting a championship title shot. 100%. That's just my personal opinion because you look at everybody else. Israel Adesanya, Imavov beating Israel Adesanya doesn't necessarily put him in first place, just due to the fact that Israel Adesanya had lost 3 in a row prior to that. So I want to say 3 in a row. No, 2 in a row. He had lost to Sean Strickland. He had lost to DDP, and then he lost to Imavov, which would make him 3. But prior to that, it was 2 in a row. So I believe Israel Adesanya was probably like at 4th, maybe 5th ranked. So that puts Imavov up there, but not necessarily number one contender. Where the Ritter, outside of Robert Whittaker losing to Khamzat Chimaev that got him a number one contendership, Robert Whittaker was still doing pretty decent. And I couldn't see anybody else outside of that. You know, maybe Sean Strickland, but Sean Strickland is going through his own drama right now. We all know Sean Strickland just got suspended by the Nevada State Athletic Commission due to the fact that he ran into the octagon after one of his friends had lost and started fighting the other guy because the other guy was talking smack. We all know that's a big no-no. You can't do that, fighter. When you got corners fighting corners, hey, it's going to have anarchy. I don't mind it. It's exciting to me, but it just rules the rules. So as far as the Ritter goes, yeah, I believe he deserves the winner of Khamzat Chimaev versus Robert DDP. Now, Robert Whittaker, I would like to see him face the winner of, or possibly the loser, or because he's going to be out for a while. This fight did just recently take place. So you got Israel who needs a fight right now, but I'm not sure who he's going to fight. I can't see Robert Whittaker and Izzy fighting each other. No way. Could he face possibly the loser of DDP and Khamzat Chimaev? Yeah, maybe. Or possibly even the loser of Imavov or Imavov and Kirill. Maybe one of those two. I can see that potentially happening as well. But the middleweight division is actually getting very interesting. You got Paulo Costa, who just recently made some news himself with some exciting fights that took place a couple weeks back. So he's getting up there. Again, Sean Strickland is out for a while. He's looking for an opponent. So yeah, there's some fun, exciting things going on in the middleweight division. So you guys let me know in the comments on what do you think is going to be next for RDR and for Robert Whittaker. Let me know in the comments, guys. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.